Welcome back to another episode of Quick Picks with the Geek. I am your host, Bro Power the Geek. All right, next up is Miles Johns versus Felipe Lima in a bantamweight clash that could steal the show, or at least give the judges something to argue about during their next poker night. Let's get into it. Miles Johns first. We've got Miles Chapo Johns coming into this fight as a plus 165 underdog with a record of 15-2. Johns is one of those fighters who makes you sit up and take notice. He's built like a tank, has dynamite in his hands, and carries that classic wrestling base. When Johns lands clean, people tend to go down. It's like he's trying to punch people back to the Stone Age. That power has bailed him out in some tough spots before, and it's always a factor in his fights. Honestly, his punches look like they come with a warning label, may cause sudden naps. But here's the thing, power comes at a cost. Johns has a habit of slowing down as the fight progresses. His gas tank isn't terrible, but when you're swinging hammers in every exchange, it's bound to take a toll. He'll need to pace himself if he wants to avoid Lima taking over late. Think of Johns like a sports car, fast, powerful, and flashy. But if you don't manage the fuel, you're calling AAA by round 3. Johns is also a solid grappler with the ability to dictate where the fight takes place. The question is whether he can get Lima to the ground and keep him there. If he can, this fight could be all about control and damage from the top. But if his takedowns get stuffed, we might see Johns going from Chapo to, oh no, Felipe Lima. Now let's talk about Felipe Lima, the minus 190 favorite, with an impressive record of 13-1. Lima is one of those guys who doesn't have a ton of UFC experience, but has been on the radar as a serious prospect for a while. He only has one UFC fight that he took on short notice, and his cardio held up and he finished his opponent in the 3rd round. I'm excited to see how he shows up after a full camp. His striking is sharp, technical, and carries enough pop to keep his opponents honest. Lima's like the guy in the gym who doesn't look like much until he starts hitting the pads, and suddenly you're rethinking your decision to spar him. What makes Lima particularly dangerous is his takedown defense. He's faced decent grapplers before, and while Johns will be his toughest test in that department, Lima's ability to stay upright could be the key to this fight. Imagine a wrestler's frustration trying to take Lima down. He's like that one IKEA shelf you can't figure out how to assemble. His grappling isn't world-class, but it's serviceable enough to keep him out of danger if things hit the mat. If Lima can keep this fight standing, he'll have a significant edge in the striking exchanges, especially as the fight wears on and Johns starts to slow down. While Johns might be looking for the home run, Lima's more of a jab-jab cross guy, efficient, calculated, and less likely to gas out swinging for the fences. So who wins? This fight comes down to whether Johns can land big early or impose his wrestling on Lima. If he can, he has a clear path to victory through either a knockout or grinding out control time. But if Lima can stuff those takedowns and keep the fight standing, it's going to be a long night for Johns. Picture Johns as a sprinter trying to run a marathon. Great out of the gate, but things could get dicey the longer this goes. Official pick, Felipe Lima. While Johns' power and grappling are always a threat, I think Lima's takedown defense and striking will be the difference here. Look for him to weather the early storm, take over in the later rounds, and either pick up a decision or potentially find a finish. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat when the next video drops. And don't be shy. Leave a comment below and let me know who you got winning this fight. Let's see who really has the crystal ball around here. Until next time.